This show, we bring to you real people that come to, tell their unique, impactful, real life stories. And of course, on today's episode, I am privileged. I've never seen this. Probably I'm the first one to actually have these wonderful people. I have with me Mr. Owas Mwape. He's a film producer, actor, legendary in the game. Mr. Owas, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
The pleasure is all mine.
I have Miss Saboi Imboela, once Mrs. Ray Mwape. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you.
Can
How
I
are you?
use Mrs. Mwape?
No.
I can't use that title.
Yeah, sounding like his father.
Oh, okay. So your father-in-law still calls you Mrs. Mwape.
The last time we talked, no. But for a long time, he just couldn't let go of the name Mrs. Mwape. In fact, he says Mrs. Mwape.
It suits you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Mrs. Mwape sounds very nice.
She has always loved to promote the Imboela brand for years.
For years.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And those are things that we had sat down and spoke about. And she said, well, okay. And I said, no, I love this. And I've seen now it's the SI is coming out. SI.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, you guys, you were once a very happily married couple. You have beautiful kids between the two of you, very successful careers. You've pursued your political career. You're doing very well. You are a force to reckon with. And of course, you have continued to excel in your film industry and you're doing very well. First and foremost, let's talk about where did this thing start from? When did you meet? And on that day, what happened? Let me start with you. When did you meet this man?
Again, you're reminding me of our son, Sam, but he likes to ask that question several times. Okay, the way I met him, actually, he was my stalker. Not a real definition of a stalker, but yeah, by then I was like Chantel singing, and he would just look at the poster and see where we're performing. And then we would meet as if it was by accident. You're here also. We'll be in Livingston, and imagine he stayed on the Copper Belt. We'll be in Livingston and he'll be there.
Yes.
We'll be in Lusaka and we'll be there. And then later on, that's when he told me to say, that time that we were meeting, it wasn't by accident. I was looking at...
I was actually following you.
Following you.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So finally, actually came to the company. He came to the company. There's something that was promoting. Promoting.
Still under the pretext
yes,
promoting.
Exactly.
Casa Sakilagero.
Casa Sakilagero. Depana buera funsa. Yeah. So like, okay, started talking because it was that promoting thing that he was promoting and everything.
How old were you?
I must have been 22.
Oh, you were fresh.
At the time. Yes, I was 22 or so. Exactly.
Okay. Still fresh.
Yeah. Thank you.
Not that you're not fresh now, but I mean, like, yeah.
Yeah. So that's how we started talking, got to know each other, and he was a good-looking guy, so it wasn't very hard to convince me. Still is. Still is. We're talking about what happened then. Yeah. So exactly.
Okay.
And Barbara was like,
yes.
Yeah, actually. So it was like, okay, yeah, that's how we started.
How long did you date?
We dated for a year, actually. Yeah. We did it for a year. Yes. Then
you got married.
Yes.
Okay, so the marriage, how was it? Did you have a wedding? How was it? Tell me, how was the process?
Well, to fiance, everything that is needed, we had to do everything. But you see, she was high profile at that particular time.
Yes.
When Chantel so we didn't actually want to so much publicize everything that we had, because there was a lot of things that we would have preferred to keep to ourselves as a couple, and that's basically what we did.
Were you already an actor then?
Yes, I was actually. It's just that I wasn't so much into it, and at that particular time, 10 years ago, as much as that was content, we weren't as big in film industry, but I was still pushing because I had been doing it even bit by bit on the Copper Belt.
What attracted you to this beautiful lady? Like when you saw her, like
I'll tell you what
was going on for you to have been stalking her for that long? Because it looks like it was a long time, right?
Well, of course. I mean, every man should have game. You need to understand that.
Yes.
And when you have game, I think one of the most important things I always tell men is you need to be a strategist. And as a strategist, I made sure that I had to seal in every component that needed to be sealed in. So it was easy. I approached JK, I remember, because JK, Joe, and them were my friends. So I said,
and under Mondo
guys,
then, yes.
Guys.
You guys were label mates, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, and I was like, guys, what's the story there? Then they started laughing. And they went, tetu kwani sheti Saboi Imboela. I was like, no, okay. Then there was a guy who was in Bishop band then. His name was Jack. He was on the keyboard, and he tells me, you know what, Mdara, if you're looking for a woman, that's the right woman you can go for. And I was like, okay, I'll probably try to speak to her, but I'm gonna do it because there's so much media friends. And at that particular time, they had just come up with a second album, which was Unbreakable. So it was like, okay, so you need to do your game. And I said it was going to be very difficult in our terrain in Lusaka, but I waited for a time when she was going to be out of town. And in Livingston, that's where I actually followed, and I was like, okay, Livingston, you know, the muscle took me there, and I was like, okay. So I saw they were in a restaurant. I walked in, two of them. I said, hi, ladies. Spoke hi, and I said, okay, you guys.
Was she a diva then? Did she give you attitude?
No, funny part. Saboi and Barbara have always been down to earth.
Yeah.
Even I think the time I approached them, I don't know. I mean, you know, I'm a shy guy, but I think at that particular time I just had game. You know what I mean?
I like the confidence.
No, I'm telling you because look, you're talking about Chatel. Chatel was bigger.
Yes, I mean, these guys were
guy,
huge.
exactly.
The biggest female group.
Exactly, and here's a guy coming from the Copper Belt who just says, "Well, okay, this way I'm gonna aim," and that's how it was. So we met at what's her place, Masaka, and I remember, bought them drinks and everything.
You flexed.
Yeah.
My drinks.
And I think they left. They went to Fairmount at that particular time, and then I followed at Fairmount.
Yeah.
There's one mistake she made, I think, was to allow me to sit next to her.
Yeah.
Because all I just needed was 3 minutes of my time.
And it was done.
I gave her my best vibe with an A++ rating.
Yes.
She swallowed everything, and I think that was it. And I knew that this is exactly where I was gonna end. Okay. But again, I made a mistake. I think when I went to the Copper Bed, we just spoke and I forgot about it. This day I woke up in the morning accidentally. Up to now, she doesn't believe it. Yeah. This is around 06. I don't know what happened. With the phone, all of a sudden it rings her number.
Yeah.
So then I realized, oh look, I'm calling this girl. What would she think of me? I'm calling at 06. Yeah. I switched.
You stopped the call.
Yeah, I stopped the call. Then she called back. So when we were speaking, I could sense. You know, it's easy to sense the vibe.
Yeah.
I think I will come, and then the rest is history, my brother.
The rest is history.
That's exactly
so,
how it was.
The wedding is done.
Yes.
Then, of course, you're married.
Yes.
Yeah. So you guys were married for 10 years. In the 10 years that you were married, what were the happy moments that you're able to remember of your 10 years of marriage?
The happy moments. He's a very romantic guy, you know. So
you know what? These guys will get back together. I think before this show ends, these guys will be back together. But it was romantic.
Yeah, he's a very romantic guy, and we spent most of our time together. You know, we're that couple that stayed together and worked together. You know, business-wise, I think we made a very good match. You know. And I remember, I always say that he's the one that taught me business. You know, he would always tell me to say, do the kind of people you know. You know that your network is your net worth, you know? You know these people, you know this, but you're not utilizing it, you know? So it worked like that to say, okay, this person and that person, we make that introduction because we had a company together. So we make the introductions and would make money like that, you know? You know, for example, Mrs. Murimo, I'm just giving you an example. Mrs. Murimo and Owas, she has this business and you're able to do one or two things together. So I think he was a very good businessman in that regard. You know, for me, in terms of business, I was not that good until we met. The other highlights of my parents-in-law. I think one of the best.
Mwapes.
Yes, I think one of the best things I really enjoyed about our marriage is my parents-in-law. You know, people normally have a bad relationship with parents-in-laws, especially the mothers. You know, but my mother-in-law, and sadly she died last year. You know, she died last year. Imagine, yes, and we remained close even from up to the time she died.
Did you go to a funeral?
Of course I did.
Oh, okay.
Yes, of course I did. And we remained close. You know, she would call me like every week. When a week passes without me calling her, she'd be complaining. 2 weeks passes. Oh, or rather. You have not called me. You have not, Mommy, it's only 2 weeks which has passed. You get the point, yeah? So that great relationship that I had with them, even when we had a problem, you know, they'd be even on my side and their own son, you know?
Okay. They must have been very good in-laws.
Oh, they were such great in-laws.
Yeah.
They were.
Mr. Mwape, the good years that you spent in the marriage, what are some of the highlights? What are some of the things that up to now you still miss this woman for?
First of all, one thing you need to understand is that I never date Dao people. In other words, what I'm trying to say is that
you never date Dao people.
Oh yes. I think one of the things that attracted me to her was the fact that she has got a lot of brains. Okay, very good brains. The intelligence, I think, is brilliant. So that's one of the most important things that was there. That was one of my best highlights. And of course, like every other couple, you know, people get together because they have great feelings for each other. And I think that is what was the biggest drive. And then, like she said, we spent more time together and we were seen together almost all the time. And I think that emanated from the fact that even during our courtship, I had made sure that everywhere she was, she would call me even if she's... I used to stay on the Copper Belt. You find she's probably maybe in Livingston or maybe she's in Chapata. I would travel there and just to give her support and everything. And I think that continued even through the years of our marriage. We stayed together.
Were you at any given time intimidated that you were marrying a very successful woman, like she was already an established superstar? Was there any levels of intimidation or insecurities?
I'm a Lala man, and I had risen to the challenge. So the challenge is in Bemba we say so what that actually means is that when you get into the thickest of the forest, you're not going to be saying, hey, there's a snake here, there's what. No, keep going, because that's exactly. So I think there wasn't any much intimidation. She was a good woman, okay, and I think one of the most important thing is that she was Chateau out there, but she was a Mrs. Mwape in the home, and that on its own I think was the biggest drive. And we had a lot of dreams that we wanted to achieve together. Fortunately, that didn't work to our advantage, but pretty much that.
So all those beautiful things are happening. At what point did you start experiencing problems that led to your divorce? At what point? And what was that one thing that gave a signal to say, I think this thing is going to the end? At what point did you start having problems?
Okay. For me, I think the problems started when I went to school, you know, because I think when I was around, he was a very good person. And of course we had our problems, you know, over the years. You know, you have a problem here, you sort it out. You have a problem here, you sort it out.
What kind of problems? What was the nature of the problems that you'd have as a couple?
I mean, for example, he's a handsome guy, and you know the funny calls, funny calls at awkward hours. No, this is just a fun.
Those calls, yes.
Those calls.
Saved under different names. You had them?
Oh, we had them, yes. And then I'll be like, I'm a celebrity as well, but nobody calls me after 20 hours. You get the point?
So there were a lot of women calling you. After.
No, this is a fan. No, a fan can't call this time. Yeah, so... Yeah, funny things like this. So
I was on Cabanana then. Don't forget that. So at that particular...
The fans were calling after.
So funny hours.
You see, I always love to say, wow, that's one thing.
Yeah.
And then I was in my early 30s at that time. Yeah, was it? Yeah, I was in my early
So a
30s.
lot of women were bothering you.
No, not really bothering. I think sometimes it was just the idea of thinking, well, I'm also the hot shit, and well,
Yes.
I can entertain this sort of thing. But I found a woman who couldn't handle such kind of rubbish.
And that woman was this
Exactly.
one.
She, oh my God. She's my friend. I know what I'm talking about.
So tell me.
So it was.
Was there ever a time? Was there ever a time that she actually had to call you out on your nonsense? Like, what was that incident when you found certain calls or SMSs? Did you find any out of place SMSs?
Yeah, certainly. Once in a while, and like I said, we had to sort that out. You get the point. We sorted it out. Yeah.
How were you sorting? Would you confront him? Would you?
Of course, I would.
What was the
I'm
nature
very
of the
open.
What was the sort of a confrontation?
Very open. I get. Anyway, what is this rubbish?
And when we say confrontation, Saboi and I would start talking at 19 hours, and I'm not joking.
Yes.
We'll end the next morning at 06. The whole night we've been talking and trying to solve a problem.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. But like I'm trying to say is that she's a very strong woman. She's an alpha male. In other words, that's what I came to discover. And when she says, "Where are you?" you begin to think, what do I say? Okay, where am I right now? Nirikut. No, why so young? Oh no, right now.
So she would actually make such kind of calls so many times.
Who?
Her.
That became her what? Because every time when she calls, the first question she would always ask is, Murikut. So now Murikut, when you are in a place where it's not right, you want to lie because you kind of... And when you say, I'm at Arcades, be assured she will come. It's not going to be like, oh, okay. So now if you've lied and you're in town, start finding your way to Arcades.
So was she an insecure wife?
No, not really that she was insecure. I think she was... She knew what she wanted. And
Sanja? Maybe you can say Sanja.
She knew what in Sanja, every woman has in Sanja, but both of us had in Sanja, and we knew how to handle that. But I think like what I'm trying to say is that she knew what she wanted, and I think she knew to say, this man, if it might go this way. So that's basically how when she calls and so it ended up sometimes you end up lying.
Yeah.
Even when it's genuine, you get the point.
Were you scared of your wife?
Yes, there was a time now, I think she's here, I can tell her, there was a time I just got so scared of we are never scared of our wives because they're going to beat us.
But was there ever a time that she beat you?
Never.
Was there ever a time that she inflicted any physical harm on you as a man?
I don't know. Do you remember any time that you...
No, we are managing the situation here.
No, we are not managing the situation.
Out of anger, out of any situation, do you remember any time that this woman just said, Iwe?
No, she was never a person. One thing Saboi can get you to edge with is with her words. Okay. Not really that she's gonna pick anything and hit at you.
Okay,
no.
So she was not physical.
No. I can never say anything like that.
Okay, so you went out for school, and this man, what was happening when you were out for school?
I think he celebrated too much.
Oh, the cat is out, the mouse must play.
Maybe it was that, you know. And you know, for Owas, one thing I always appreciate about him, he's a person that would come home very early. Okay, so during our marriage, I never had those problems like my husband is out 19 hours, 20 hours. You know, I would talk about other issues, but I think his curfew was like 18 hours. Not that I imposed the curfew, self-imposed curfew. He would be home by 18 hours. If Owas is late coming home, he'd be home at 18:30. You get the point? Yeah. And that I really liked. Yeah. So even if he was misbehaving, he was misbehaving between 08 when he leaves the house to 18, or maybe to 17. You know, 17 hours, he knows that I'm going home. You get the point? Okay. Yeah. So I can safely say that he was a very good husband in that regard. You know, he would come home early, would have time with the kids. by the time you're switching Thursday, Friday, we're discussing what you're doing over the weekend.
Yeah.
So Saturday, Sunday will be together all the time. You get the point. Going out, he's not a husband that you'd find anywhere. You would not find him at any bars, any place. And most times, it would even be me saying, let's go for this function. He never wanted, he liked being home.
But the many times that you call him and say, where would he be? It was not at a bar, or it would just be maybe a Chedok Buena?
Not even Kuchedwa Kubuela. You know, sometimes, naturally, for me, even when I'm talking to a female friend, or just a friend, I think it's a habit.
Yeah, it's a habit.
Yeah, it's a habit for me. When I call, where are you? I do that a lot.
I'm also like that.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, I do that.
Like the first thing,
yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a habit of mine, but for him, because he's a husband and he knows he's in the wrong place, when you say Burikuti, now he's thinking, okay, maybe your eyes are near here. You get the point. Yeah. So to cut the long story short, to me, he was that kind of husband where you won't go to, let's say, Chicago or wherever, and you find him there. He'll be home. Even over the weekend, he'll be home. We'll be together all the time. It was like that, And but shockingly, when I went to school, he was like all over.
How long were you out?
I was just away for 1 year. And yes. And I was, and then I was even telling him to say. So, and I was asking him.
Now you're confirming. Just shifted your.
In other words, what I'm trying to say is that.
What happened to you? I mean,
you get the point.
When she was
I remember. Here's a funny one. Before we got married, she asked me one question. And I remember that should have been 2004, somewhere. I don't know, 2003, 2002. She asked me a question. She said, "If I decided to go to the UK to school, would you wait for me to that?" And I remember I gave her a very straightforward answer.
What did you say to her?
I said no.
You said no, imagine.
I said no.
So you don't believe in marriage by correspondence?
No. I don't think that for me was ever going to work. Okay. And when I told her that, I remember that day she actually started crying.
Okay, so what she experienced when she was out was basically what you had already told her. So look, if you go out, I'll play.
Before she went to school, even now, the time she was supposed to do a master's, I think we agreed we were going to go together to Australia, and that was we were going to go as a family.
Yes.
But then later on, I think things changed, and then it was her going alone to New Zealand and all that. So I think that on its own again also did play a part in the way that I started feeling at that particular time, because I was kind of like, I was used for so many years being with her all the time. Yeah. And for her to now move, I think that on its own really changed.
How long did it take you before you could get a replacement when she was?
No, I didn't get a replacement.
What was going on?
As she has said,
he was playing. What were you hearing when you were out?
Oh, a lot of things.
And
you know, Zambians are funny.
See, that's what the problem was. You see the way the problem was.
Listen. Now he's going to say that I was listening to people. I was not. Okay.
What did you hear? And what did you have evidence
the way, on? The way it started, like, to be like, even on Facebook, for example, people would send you messages.
Yeah.
You know, because that's a problem of being a celebrity couple anyway.
Yes.
You know, because people know you. So they see your man with funny people, they will tell you. So even I would get messages as far as Facebook.
Yeah.
Somebody comes to my inbox, I was like, But for me, that did not really matter. He went to a certain place and there was a fight there. And somebody sent me that. And then I was like, we went at this function,
I remember.
And there was a fight,
and then he was
shocked and was like,
"This
one happened last year."
This was Miss. I remember it was Miss Yunza, and this guy is coming in. Then he pours beer on me, and then I'm like, "Are you pouring? Hey, Chani, hey, and everything." Little did no, not really. We were just exchanging. The next thing, she's telling me about it from New Zealand.
So you knew that.
Yes,
there are satellites everywhere.
Oh, there were a lot of satellites.
Yeah. So what did you hear? What did you hear? The thing that brought you to a place where, like, you know what? I think I'm losing this guy. What did you hear? What did he do?
Okay, for me, it was now from friends and relatives.
Okay, what were the friends saying?
Certain, I don't want to go so much into details, but friends and relatives started giving me certain information. You get the point. And from there, then I started telling him to say, if it's coming from this place, it's not really that, like, they're being malicious. I think they're looking out for the both of us. So that is what really happened. And for me, also even just going out, because I was even telling him, when I'm around, it's not like I'm the one that says no. You're the one that doesn't even like going out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there'll be times I'll tell him, let's go, and he'll like, I don't want, you know. So I would be home because of him.
Yeah.
So it shocked me so much that when I was away, he was like, to me, all over. You get the point. So that really shocked me a lot.
So when your wife was away, did you cheat on her?
When she was
when she was away in school, did you start cheating on her?
I'm not sure at that particular time if I cheated or if I.
Did you have a girlfriend when because you explained it to say
unless we
you were always together and you started missing her.
Unless we define the word cheating.
Okay, what were you doing?
Are you getting the point? I think I
were you entertaining another girl?
No. I found wrong friends. That's what I can tell you.
That's another thing.
And they would always, because I was alone at this particular time, so they would always say, no, Ndeko kwaso. And stories started getting to her and all that kind of stuff. And I think that's just one of them. But at that particular time, with the way I know Saboi, with all the other problems that we had in the past, now they were beginning to come.
What
and I remember.
The problems that you had?
Well, they're just general problems. Marriages has got a lot of problems, my dear. So it's not, because marriages, even if you forget to put down toilet seat, it becomes an issue. But I think that's not the big deal there. And I think when such kind of things began.
So what were the friends telling you to do?
No.
What were they influencing you to do?
No, they weren't influencing me. At that particular time, what was I going to be doing at home alone until once you have friends? They'll call you, I want church. And
of course, there'll be girls there.
My friend, the girls are all over. Even here, there are girls. What do you mean, of course, there'll be girls there?
So, did you cheat on your wife when she was away?
No, I never cheated on her. What do you mean? Did I cheat on her? I never cheated on her. It's just that things didn't work according to the way that we had planned.
You didn't have a girlfriend?
No.
At that time?
No.
Not even a friend that you were entertaining?
No.
Okay. No. What did you hear? But
yeah.
You had girls?
That, yeah.
You had girls. Mm-hmm. You confronted him about it?
Yes, I did.
What did he say?
Of course he denied it.
The same way that he's denying. The same way that he's denying it. Okay. Mamuna nikufana no. You're doing well. You're doing well. No, you're doing well.
It's not even like Mamuna nikufana no. You see, there are certain things that you need to understand. Marriage is a very, very complex. What can I call it? World.
Yes.
Per se. There are certain things that you think, no, I can handle this so well, but it doesn't go the way that you want it to be.
So in what year was that when you people started having, when you went to school?
That was 2012.
2012.
How many years in marriage then?
That was like 10 years. Yeah.
Okay. So it was like in the 10th year that you started having problems. Yeah. But of course, you've been public people. Your marital issues were in public domain. Of course, there were issues of physical violence in your marriage. At what point did you, and what was the thing that was triggering that?
And funny enough, the first time that physical violence came about was a call, yet again.
Okay.
So there's a woman that called him.
In the night?
In the night, 21 hours. In fact, that was one of those rare times when we were going out. Uh-huh. So we were going, and by then we're not even married yet.
Yes,
we're not married.
We're not
even married yet.
Oh, okay.
We're by his place. So this girl calls him around 21 hours. Like, who's calling you this time? Yeah.
What was the number?
And the thing was, do
you remember the number?
No, hell no, I don't remember the
name.
number.
What did it say under name?
So, and I remember his phone was a bit loud, and I could hear because I was with his best friend at the time. So I was like, who's calling you? And then he mentions the guy's name. Then you can even say a guy's name. I heard from here, I could hear it's a woman. And then he turns to his friend and says, now I'm there, and the guy is like, because the phone was loud, the friend could not even defend him. He goes like, confirm
what you deny. And then it was a girl.
Well, I think that was a long time, but I think I do remember that moment very well.
Exactly,
yes.
Okay, so
so the friend goes like, so we started like talking. That was like the first time that ended badly.
It ended badly. What happened?
Yeah, it became physical, yeah.
Are you the one that initiated the
No, I'm a woman.
Did
I don't
you push him?
No, I didn't
Because
do that.
I know that women have the ability. It's either they'll push you physically or they'll push certain buttons. Did you push certain buttons?
Okay, maybe I did push certain buttons, yeah. But
and I think she did that day. You remember what you were telling me?
What
She always, this woman is crazy.
What did she say?
She was telling Mutinta Muzokatwani. You never feel like I just feel like I want to my Kanichaep. And I'm looking at
That's
her
what you
like,
said.
okay, I remember
that day. And I'm looking at her, I'm like, So even the way we were just, I think it was, I remember.
But it wasn't supposed to be that serious anyway.
We were just, I remember how it was. It was more of like pushing each other by the wall and all that. And then my friend, I remember, even left and all that. So pretty much that.
So what happened? Did you slap her or did you punch her? What was happening that day?
No, I think I must have pushed her. Yeah, I pushed her to the wall. I remember pushing her to the wall.
And also, by the way, I remember, it just reminded me of that conversation with Mutinta where I was saying, I think can you put right? Yeah, because we had this friend of ours who would feel good being beaten. You know, the funny part is this, there are women that really feel good being beaten. You get the point? So this friend of ours,
we live in a culture where there's certain women that feel if a man beats you, it's an expression of love.
It's an expression of love.
Was it that kind of a thing for you?
No, not for me. For this friend of mine. So
But why would you say in front of Che?
No. So we had that discussion with Mutinta, and I remember then we're saying it in regards to me now. Because the way she talks about it as if being beaten is a good thing. But I think I chose the wrong man because. But when he beat really hammered me, so I was like, no, I don't ever want to experience this again.
Okay, he hammered you that day. What did he do? He pushed you, and what did he do?
Not
saying that you hammered her.
And so, you know not that particular time.
Oh, okay. Because that day he just pushed.
That day just pushed me.
Okay.
And let me say this about violence. And this is one thing I say about violence, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, I think the first day. I did not do it first, but I think I caused it. That I'll be very honest with you.
Yeah.
Yes, I caused it because, like I said, we're talking. Okay, let's see. Yeah, you get the point. Yeah. And then, like I said, I found a person whereby, okay, you know. So when it happened second, third time, I was like, I don't ever want this to happen again because if you look at Owas, we were so much in love, the two of us.
Yeah.
He's a person that I could control, and I was a person that he could control. You get the point. But it was when he was upset and he's in that state.
Yeah.
I would look at him and I could not recognize the man I was looking at. You get the point.
What did he have anger issues?
Then you look at his eyes and you're thinking, did he have
anger issues?
No, he didn't have anger issues.
What would happen to him when he's upset?
No, he would just be like, you look at his, you're trying to say something so that he does something and he's not listening to you. So that I was like, so then I just said, no, this has to stop.
Okay, so that was the first time before you got married. Right in the marriage, how many other times did you have such kind of incidences?
I think it happened about 2 or 3 times again after that.
How bad were they? Yeah.
No,
is this something that when you look back, Mr. Mwape, you regret doing?
I'll tell you where the problem was, and I think I even wrote a movie called Dear Nana with regard to that. There are certain things that when you at that particular time you're annoyed and you think, okay, let me do this. Maybe that's how I'm going to shut up my wife. Okay. Because my wife then was quite a handful.
When you say she was quite a handful, what do you mean?
When she starts talking, sometimes your voice would go. Now you say, okay, how do I stop?
Did she have verbal diarrhea? Like, should say very hurtful things?
Well, that one she's good at. That's why she's now a politician. You've got to understand.
Oh, okay.
You don't joke. You don't go that route.
You will not win.
Oh, you
once you start talking, you will not
exactly. Win. So I think that's where the big mistake was, and why I regret so much is that I think there was a time we engaged BBC because me and I decided we wanted to more like come up with it was a campaign, We wanted to go out there to more like advocate for gender-based violence because we thought, I think we don't want to do this sort of thing, and we wanted to use ourselves as an example. So when we involved this lady she was from England, a journalist. I regret that moment. The next thing, I'm sleeping around 06, it's BBC. It starts with Chris Brown, what with Rihanna. And in Africa, in Zambia, an actor what? And says this, and my God, it just now blew up out, and it was like, God, yeah. But then for me, I think I'm one person that has always taken up a negativity to create something positive out of it. And that to me is something that I said.
So from a man's perspective, men that are violent to women, is it an upbringing issue, or it is subject to just how... Did you grow up in an environment where it was normal for men to beat women?
I'll tell you what. Number one, I'm coming from that background where whenever we saw parents fighting, it was kind of normal.
So you'd see your mother. You'd see your father beat up your mother.
I don't say beating. That's why another problem. That's another thing that we make when we say beating, fighting.
Or they would fight.
Couples fight. Yes, exactly. So when you see that, when you grow up, that kind of becomes like, okay, this is okay. But here's where the problem comes in. When people are in courtship, that's the time you need to know. So I think she needed to see it from that point to say, this person I'm dealing with, maybe I shouldn't go with it. Because when you think this is going to end... So there was a red flag
already. Exactly. So you guys were in courtship and already you saw this aspect of him.
It happened once and it wasn't bad. Yeah. And also that time I actually blamed myself for it.
Oh, yes, see, now here's have you seen when she says it wasn't bad? Okay, if I'm advocating now, I always tell the young ones, especially those in school, to say, look, when you see even a small slap, even when a person pushes you, don't think when you get married this is going to stop. It probably is going to be 3 times.
So you're pushing her then when you're in courtship was a sign of bigger things that were going to come.
Well, I can't know that, but in my own assumption, that's what I feel is a problem. So I think that on its own is something that I thought, well, I don't think I would ever want. And funny part, would you believe it? After those moments, we are talking about 10, 12 years ago. Yeah, I have never, not even a day, ever touched a woman or even or anything. I learned from our marriage.
From your experience.
Exactly.
What was the worst? At what point did you say, you know what, I can't take this anymore? What really happened on that day?
I think we're coming in from North Mid, and it was a very, very bad fight, we're in the car, and the kids were there. So for that, I was like...
So you guys would fight in front of your kids?
That was the first time it happened in front of the kids. And I said, this I won't take anymore. You know, and I remember I called my father-in-law just when he reached home. I was like, your son has done this? I'm going to report him to the police.
What did he do?
Because I've told him.
What did he do?
There was that fight in the car. And
when then you say there's a fight, a fight is 2 people... A blow for a blow. But if there's one person that is just receiving blows, it's not a fight.
In fact, it wasn't a fight. It was, he was like, he became very, he became physical. Because the thing is this, by the way, like he has rightly said, always control violence from the onset. Don't think, okay, this is a small thing, it will get better. Because for us, it happened once during our courtship. And for me, that was the only time that I think I instigated it. Then all the times that happened, now it came him. Because now we thought we could go that route. And I would tell him, no, let's not go this route, you know. And I remember there was a time, because I said we used to do business together and we had this good contract and we're supposed to be in the showgrounds. And we fought so hard. That time we fight because I was fighting back as well. And I remember biting him here on the face because he's a guy and, you know, he's punching you. You can't punch back. And then I beat him here. Like I used my teeth. I like beat him here.
Yeah.
So later on in the morning, I was like, I'm going to report you to the police. This is too much.
Yeah.
Then it was like swollen the whole head, like this side.
Yeah.
And then it was telling me to say, look at me and look at yourself. So
now tell me, when she did that to you, was there ever a point where you felt, I need to report this woman to the police?
I think, how do you explain a man going to the police and say, "Oh, my wife has done this"?
But men,
I know. This is exactly the point, and these are some of the things that I advocate right now. And these are some of the things that I teach people, especially when I'm handling the issues of gender-based violence, okay? Because I think a lot of people look at it like this is a small thing. It's not a small thing, because one day you might end up killing someone. Okay? It starts small, like, no. And mostly, half the time, it's always from the point of daring. I'm going to do this.
Was there ever a point where you actually felt your life was in danger in your marriage from the violence?
No, I'll be very honest with you. No. No.
It didn't reach that level where like
no, it never got to that. For me, the worst was the car one, because the car was moving and then it got upset and, started that. And the fact that the kids were there as well.
What would cause the fights?
The other times, by the way, our fights were always caused by just one something. There's a time we fought in the house again, at the time we're married. 22 hours, a woman calls. It was that again.
So it was women problem.
Yes, mainly it was that, But this time around, like the car incident I'm talking about, it was a business kind of thing. Something to do with business and I think at that time it was really unreasonable. No wonder I even got so upset. I think he became so unreasonable with that particular issue. So I remember telling my parents-in-law, I was like, no, this is too much. Because now it's like he thinks this is a way to sort problems.
Did you take him to the police?
And actually, I went and I reported. And our friends came through. I remember St. Michael came through, Sister D, and because I'd reported already, and I took the.
You had the call out.
I had it home. So the call outs.
Yeah.
So I went with it home. And then they came because we had now at the showgrounds, we had to be there like 3 days during the showgrounds. And we had employed about 11 artists, because what we would do shows and employ other artists and everything. So we had about 11 artists that were performing at our stand and everything. So the guys came to, I think St. Michael and Sister Joey amongst the people that were performing there. So they came through, And Michael even telling me, I can document upon a foot. I can document your foot. This is just a report.
We're good friends.
Yes, I can document up with this. No, look at this. I explained to them what happened there. So they promised that. And then when they left, then you looked at the call out. No, the report actually. I think it was a docket, which I think it was more than a call out. It was a docket, right? Because I'd written. I'd given them what had transpired exactly. So when they left and they looked at it, he didn't realize that when I was telling him that I'm going to the police, he didn't realize I was going to do it.
Yes.
So when he looked at it, so is it serious? Was I in the police? Said, yes, I went.
Yeah.
So that also, I think it helped you. I was like,
were you harmed in the process? Like the time that you fought, did you have any bodily injuries from the car incident?
Yes, I did. I had some body. Yeah, I did.
Okay. Then of course, after that, the biggest thing that happened between the two of you was eventually this man was arrested. He served jail. What caused you? This is the father of your children. What caused you to have the father of your children serve jail? What happened? Were you just being vindictive? What was going on?
He's right here, and he will say his part later on. But I'll be very honest with you.
Yeah.
The jail issue, people normally think that I was being vindictive and I took him to jail. You get the point?
Yeah.
It was the other way around. I was even the one who was pleading for us not to go to the police, and he was daring me. So whatever happened, and we reported to the police. We had like a lot of conflicts, which I can't even talk about right now. But by the time it ended up to the police, because we could have, by the time we could have actually killed each other, because that's the time now the violence came to that level. We could not talk about certain things, because when I came back from school, there were certain things which are not in place. Okay. Yeah. And I remember the time I decided that I was going to leave the house, we had to share like almost everything in two.
But was your marriage dissolved then, or it wasn't? You were just on separation, but you decided to share.
Yes, yeah.
So practically, you're still married.
Yeah. So it was a thing whereby I even said, the good thing that in our house we had almost everything in twos. If it's TVs in two, the suite like this twos, fridges, everything was like in twos. So I just said, okay, get this and I get that. Okay.
Yeah.
So there were other things that I should have gotten, and even the cars, but the buses were too. We had other cars, but the buses were too. Get this one and I get this one. So later on, the one which I was supposed to get did not come to me. Where is it? Yeah, funny things like that. But for me, I feel that it was more than that. It was just the anger that he had towards me. Because the other thing I normally also understand is the fact that because of what had happened, I made up my mind that when I go back, I'm divorcing my husband. I can't stand this. You get the point?
So you were in school when you made up your mind?
Yes.
So you didn't have physical evidence to say,
No, it was
Didn't
the
have
people.
any,
No, it was the people that had come to me, like I've said. It was the people who were not malicious, but friends and relatives that had my best interests and his.
What evidence did they have, though? Because marriage is between two people. Once you begin to entertain so much of what other people are saying, sometimes people are malicious. Even those people that are very close to us.
Yeah, I know that. And but either way, the truth of the matter is that when I got those things, I did decide to say, when I get back, I'm not really going to do. And by the way, there's one thing I would like to tell you, and he's right here. He can confirm this.
Yeah.
At that time, I'm a person that does not believe in witchcraft, okay? But there was something happening in our house, which was just which was not normal. So that also contributed. Yes. I remember when
Are you suspecting that there's a woman that could have been bewitched him?
Even that, but the attacks were more on me, So what would happen is that
because if there's another woman that wants to take your marriage, the attacks will not be on him; it will be on you.
Exactly.
So are you suspecting that there could have been somebody that played some magic on you?
I feel so. Both me and him, actually. So what would happen is that when I went to school in June, I came back for the holidays. Okay. What would happen was that I would have like serious attacks in the night. It would be like more like a person sleeping with me. Okay. And it was so physical that he would feel it. So he would wake up and would be very scared. The first day was like, there was something which was like sleeping with you, and I was feeling it as well.
Sleeping with you, like having sexual intercourse in the night.
Exactly, yes.
What?
And then the first time was even telling me to say, So I was like, so you'd rather whatever it is raping your wife, and then you're not.
Mr. Mwape.
Yeah. And
how intense was that, though?
Well,
those encounters that your wife was having.
Well, I think I did see those moments, yes, and it was more of, and I actually even sat and I was watching. You get the point?
What were you seeing?
You are seeing more like you are seeing your wife. Like
she's in the act of lovemaking.
Exactly, with another person. And I remember even when I told her, I said, kuskuru kwa machoka mabwela maningi na ma illusions or I'm sure they must have had some good time. But now it becomes whatever. And that's why I think for me I looked at, and I never took that seriously, but I think she did take that seriously. And
what do you think? Were you are you convinced that maybe somebody could have done kavudzo or something on you guys?
I'm not sure on that one. I can't say anything.
Okay.
Because I think our problems with me and Saboi, I think by 2012 they already were there, because I remember very well in 2011 she had actually even made up her mind, and she started dating someone else.
When you guys when the marriage was not
dissolved, my friend, she knows. She's going to tell you.
Who are you dating?
You get the point. So I found,
who was she dating?
I found, you see, this day, because I got there and I brought a dossier of all these. This guy was busy trying to watch.
What was this guy saying? What was this guy saying to your wife?
That guy, I'm telling you, he would even say, and just tell him. He was like, and the guy
was that guy?
And the guy was in the US.
Yeah, let me tell you this for a fact. By the way, the kind of marriage him and I had, we had passwords for each other for everything. Okay.
What were you hiding, though?
No. Let me tell you this. He had password to my everything, my phone, my emails, everything.
Yeah.
Because of what we had experienced, I did that deliberately. Okay, because I knew I was going to read. When Owas woke up what he would do when he woke up every day, he would open up Facebook, not his but mine. He'd be in my Facebook. So I would read those messages from another guy. I mean, if really I was dating the guy, would I really date a guy who I know my husband is going to read things? So I wanted to do that, and he read that. So and up to now he doesn't believe, and I was even telling him. He was reading. He was reading.
Finessa ku email. You get the point?
No.
So, you know the
And he had passwords to all of them. So I was reading.
What is it that you saw in the messages that convinced you? Because like Kawala and Pakwanja, what is it that convinced you that your wife was cheating on you?
No, I think the conversations went on and on and
Were they sexual in nature?
Well, this guy was quite elaborate. He was definitely, Philip he's talking to my wife like this. You get the point.
And so the responses would be?
Well, she was
entertaining.
Yeah. So, but you see, for me, those moments became a little bit of what. But then there weren't things that, and we sorted those problems out. But I think that's where the biggest problem came in as well. Now I'm talking on my behalf. Those are some of the moments that began to hit me as well, because now I realize, because this is the first time. Okay, from the time that I married her, that I began to see this sort of thing, and I was like, no, this is not her. Okay, so if it's now going to get to this point, it's going to be a little bit of a problem. So I was like, okay, this I know is not. So even when she came back, from school, she came on a Thursday.
Yeah.
On a Friday, I remember she went to visit my mother-in-law.
Yeah.
On a Saturday in the morning, when I came back in the afternoon, I found Naya Kanyomune.
Okay.
Someone.
So I send this into. Can't I send this?
Naya. Like, anyway, where are you? So now, then, after 5 months, I think that's the time now when issues began. Now. That's when we now started the fights and all that kind of stuff. But then, in September, before she came, she had already told me to say, I think when I come back, I've made up my mind. I don't want this marriage.
I don't want this marriage.
Exactly.
Okay. So let me ask you this question: were you cheating on your husband before the marriage was divorced? Because cheating, I think a lot of people think cheating is sex. Cheating is emotional as well. Were you entertaining that guy? For him to have said there was a guy that came in between us, were you entertaining another guy?
I'm really shocked that he's bringing it up now, because I did mention even then to say this was the reason why I did that, and it really was.
You were being vindictive. You were like,
of course, and trust me, when that situation happened, that is when he behaved himself. Also such a husband where if he does something wrong, they say, no, if your husband does something wrong, be good to him, do this. Akabwa 24 hours, like you just welcome him, you do the good things. Owas, when he does something wrong and you just say, okay, you'll continue doing it. He's a person where...
So you needed to hit back.
When you hit back, then he'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Then he starts apologizing for his wrong things.
Okay.
So even that, trust me, I never dated that guy. But what I did, because I knew he had my password. He had my password. And he would read everything.
But up to now, this guy saying...
He's convinced.
You're cooking.
No.
And you know what is so funny?
No.
It's so funny.
That's not true.
I still have that stuff. Sorry, Monday, even now.
You still have those messages?
Even in court, that's what he presented. He presented to the court.
That's what actually I presented
to the court to say...
No, to dissolve our marriage.
Because the ground of our divorce is because...
Exactly. Because for me to go and say, no, this, that. Because she had already told me in September. So even when I presented divorce papers to her, that's what I had used and attached to say, well, it's because of this. That's why we're divorcing.
Exactly. All right, now let's quickly get back to the jail thing. So you're saying that you pleaded, you didn't want it to go that way. But are you not the one that reported him to the police?
I am the one that reported.
So what was the case? What was the nature of the case that led to him serving? How long were you in prison?
6 months.
6 months.
Was it 6 months?
Yeah.
I think 6
What was the case?
So the thing, I was attaching it to the other things. But when I came through in June, I was having all those attacks and everything. When I came back in December, I had even said, okay, I'll be home. In as much as I had decided that the marriage was over, I wanted to be with the kids. I didn't want them to see anything. That I'll be with them. Christmas and New Year will be together. Then that's when I'll leave.
Yeah.
When I came back again in December, first night it happened. So when he talks about it, then I left because I just said, I'm not going to stay in this house another second.
Yeah.
It was actually one of those things where I just said that I won't be arrested in my house again. So I ran away from the house. I was like, I'm not staying here another second.
Yeah.
because of the attacks that I was having.
Spiritual attacks that you were having.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah.
So,
but was there a woman in mind that you thought your husband was dating then, that you feel was responsible for what you were going through?
there were 2 names that were coming through. People definitely were giving me names. And yes, so, and that's what I was been telling him to say, you can mess around out there, but don't bring your women in the house. So we don't know,
was
what has happened.
Was he bringing the women in
amongst the stories? Yes. There was
bring women.
One particular one that actually, yes, came home. So that's to me. And there were things that went missing, my personal stuff that went missing.
What?
So even
what went missing? Personal stuff? Underwear?
My pants, my clothes, my shoes. They went missing. So
have you observed? So you see, our problem basically was more.
But Mr. Mwape, how do you bring other women in your matrimonial home?
No, that's what she was taught.
Oh, okay.
Not that's what I'm telling you.
Okay.
Are you getting the point?
So the underwear, where did the underwears go?
Well, I don't even, those stories, I started hearing them from people. I never heard them from like her telling me. You get the point. It's people that now would begin to say, no, she was saying this, she was saying that. And I was like, but how come? You get the point?
Yeah.
So it was not easy to bring because I had remained with the kids. So how do I bring another woman? So those are stories that we're telling her. She was in school. Okay. So there was, I think.
Okay. It's a show and he's a man. So I was saying I don't want to get into details.
Okay.
He's saying that, but I approached the woman and she did accept that she went home. He kept on saying no even then.
So you approached one of the women?
Yes, and he told me to say, you go and talk to her. And he insisted.
Yes.
Even the time I was in school, because people were saying all those things, he made her call me. And I could tell him the time she was talking to me that he was next to her. Because certain things I was asking her, there was that resistance, so I knew that, okay, he's standing next to her. So she called me. When I came back, he kept on insisting that I could see this particular woman that everybody was saying, no, she came to my house and everything. Why? While he said no. And I never even wanted to meet her, but I just wanted to put certain stories together.
Yeah.
And I did ask her to say, why did you come home? I didn't ask her to say, did you ever go to my house? I asked her to say, why did you come home? People were seeing you even cooking in my house.
Yeah. So what did she say?
Then she was like, no, we came there, then something was burning on the stove, and then I went to take it out. So there already,
she came all the way from her house to come and take out stuff that was burning in your house.
So that's the story that she gave me. So
you see, this is what I'm trying to say.
So
issues of such magnitude, like you said, okay, especially in marriage, one of the biggest problems that is there is that the moment you're going to base your, and I think I spoke to her later, even after we had broken up. I said, I think one of the biggest problems of why we failed to even solve our marriage was that there was a lot of stories that were coming from outside.
Yeah.
You get the point? For me, it even reached a point, that's why I said, you know what, I'm not going to go the route if people are going to keep coming, and they're keeping telling you stories.
Yeah.
I don't think that on its own is good for marriage. Yeah. I would have preferred if this was handled between the two of us.
Yeah.
You get the point? Where we say, oh, okay, fine, you know what? Let's try to work this together. And then maybe whatever was going to come or whatever was going to now begin to manifest was going to be seen. You know, there's always a way in which the truth does come out. You know?
So the time that he was serving, the 5-6 months that he was in jail, I'd asked what case it was, but you haven't answered. What was the case?
Okay, like I said, there was
an issue of the bus.
There was issue of the bus.
The case was forgery.
Forgery. Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. So even that, like I said, he loved that bus so much. So it's okay. This get me, I get the other one. This that, but the other one was not forthcoming. 2 weeks later, it wasn't. So I told him to say, okay, since the other one is not here, get the other one which is missing. I'll get this one.
Yeah.
So we struggled with that and everything, and also the other thing was that there were some monies that we should have paid people. Okay, there's some money that we should have paid people, and he didn't do that in my absence.
Yeah.
So there's this woman that could have actually taken both of us to jail. Yeah. So I was telling him to say, let's sell this bus and give this woman her money.
Yeah.
You know, so let's sell it. No, so he really refused that. I was like, no, when I'm with you, I know what I can control about you.
Yeah.
But if we're not together, I don't want to have debt with anybody.
Yeah.
You know, so that's how all that thing happened.
Yeah.
Went to the police and, you know, and even by then when the issue went to the police, I called my in-laws. Like I said, the relationship that we had, I called them. Listen, this is what is going on here. Gave them the details of everything. Your son, this. Right now at the police, it's me and him. If it goes to police, this is a criminal case. If it goes to court, it will be the state against him and not me.
Yeah.
You know, so he was not listening to anybody at the time.
No, at that
traveled to the
particular
Copper
time,
Belt.
yes, I
Yeah.
was not ready to listen.
Yeah,
to
I wasn't
anyone. And I
listening.
think I even told her. And I told the police, I said, if I was to choose to go back to my wife, I would choose to go to prison.
Why would you say that?
Because at that particular time, there was so much that was happening.
You chose prison.
I chose prison. And that's why I tell people, I don't regret going to prison. Because when I went to prison, what came out of prison? Okay?
How was your experience? Did she visit you the time that you were in prison?
No.
And Jimmy, can I tell you one thing? This is something that we have talked about, the two of us.
Yeah.
The Owas that went to prison and the Owas that came out are two different people.
So you'd marry this Owas?
I think this one I would. The Owas that went to prison and the Owas that came out are two different people.
Yeah.
Because like I said, when the matter was still at the police,
Yeah.
I spoke to him, I traveled to the Copper Belt twice.
Yeah.
Traveled to the Copper Belt twice, and I was pleading with the mother and father, please go and talk to him. This matter should not go this far. If it goes this far, he's going to be arrested. He's going to be jailed. The father even came. He traveled to Lusaka. When he reached Lusaka, called the son and he lied that he was in Livingston. But he was around, So we did everything that we could. And for me...
But you could not stop this case, though. You being the mother of his children, you could not at any point stop this case.
I could not because, like I've said, Jimmy, me, I really believe, and even the pastors around us at the time, they were saying one thing. So that we're seeing some levels of witchcraft so much around this whole thing. That's what everybody was saying. He was not the normal one that you see right now. He was just something else.
Can I tell you one thing? Let me tell you something. You should always remember. But here's what I'm trying to tell you. You see, there were destinies. There's a power beyond human control that determines all events in life. Okay? My destiny, I needed to pass through jail.
Yes.
It's not her. Okay? And this is the reason why I'm at peace with her. You get the point? Because I knew to say, in my path, I needed to pass through prison because there was something I was going to get out of prison, because that's what made me reach a certain level. If I hadn't passed through there, okay, probably I wouldn't fulfill.
You'd be dead by now.
You get the point? So when I looked at it, I was like, okay, so probably I came to jail to meet this person. The type of connections that I got, the type of wisdom that I went to begin to get. And I was like, look at this place. When you look at this place...
How horrible was prison?
Well, prison is horrible. But let me tell you something. Even if she got into prison today, when you're a celebrity outside, you're a celebrity in prison. In fact, you're a much bigger celebrity in prison. That's one thing that you mustn't forget. People think those guys are so much backward. No, it's the same people that you meet on the street. So even when you get there, they're so much glued to what's happening outside. They watch television and all that. So that, to me, I think is one reason. So I think the path that Saboi and I went through, even what happened between the two of us, for me, I don't even count it as anything. I just count to say...
Did you have any resentments after you were released? Did you have any bitter feeling that you had to deal with? Have you forgiven her for having done that?
My dear... Even when I was in jail, I'd never thought... The first 2 days, I felt terrible, you know what I mean? But like I said earlier, there was a time when people tried to say, no, we could try to get this thing off. But I needed that sort of retreat. And like I said, you know what, I need to be in a certain confinement where I probably am not going to be facing this sort of thing. Because even if, say, for example, I appealed that case, that problem would have still gone on and on and on if we needed a certain sort of closure at a certain particular time. So I said, Nalaya Fyokwene, you get the point.
You guys have children between the two of you. You've got beautiful kids who are older now. And I'm sure that them being older, you are at a very good place now. You remarried?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you remarried?
I'm seeing somebody.
Oh, you're seeing somebody.
Yeah.
Is it the same person that was hitting you up?
I never dated him at all. Never.
She's still refusing. You guys are at a very good place now.
No, we're very good. In fact, like she would even call me. There's this guy Chan. That's the way we relate. We're very good friends. Yeah.
So you've got children between the two of you. Have you sat down with your children to explain to them what happened then? Because I'm sure that this will come up. How did that affect your children?
And I think it hasn't affected them in any way, because we've had to guide them through it. They understand to say, look, this I think wasn't anything that would have come from a bitter side, and I'm the one that actually sat with them and we spoke about them. My kids ask so many funny questions. They ask me, so Dad, why did you go to jail again? And then you begin to explain. Yeah, but Mom took you to jail. Yeah. Did you guys love each other? Such kind of things. Yeah. And then you begin to explain to them, to say, no, listen, this is how it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they've understood it. You've explained.
Yes, and I've told them to see. Sometimes it doesn't mean that because we are not together, then it means we don't have love for them, for example.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't mean to say when we differed with our mother, then it means the whole entire world should just be like, everything should be no. I think you need to understand to say, this is how it works.
Yeah.
But then one of the most important thing I always tell them to say, you're growing.
Yeah.
You'll be men, and one day you understand what being a man is.
So at what point did you guys decide to be what you are right now? There's very good energy between the two of you. You would never imagine that one took the other to prison. There were all these crazy things that were happening. Do you regret divorcing this man?
No, I don't regret divorcing him. I think it had to happen like that. Like you said, it's about destiny.
Do you miss him sometimes?
Not really. Maybe I miss certain. Sometimes would miss like
what do you miss about him?
He's a very funny character. Owas is very funny. Can make you laugh the whole day.
Okay. So you miss that about him?
Yeah, I miss that about him.
Do you miss certain elements about your former wife?
She was my wife. She gave me 2 children. When a person gives you 2 children, it doesn't just.
What do you miss about her?
I think she's a crazy woman. You see, sometimes even when I read certain things, she's very courageous.
Okay.
So sometimes even when she posts certain things and I'm reading them, or when I read something in the papers, I call her, and then she starts laughing. I'm like,
okay, so you miss that about her?
Well, yeah, because you see, I think the courage that she definitely has. We were friends, but the most important thing is that the marriage couldn't work. So if the marriage can't work, it doesn't mean that we can't be friends.
Life can't work.
Yes. So yeah.
Your advice to couples that probably are at a place where you used to be, where you used to fight, there was a lot of violence, there was a lot of all this. What is your advice to them? Because in Africa, we live in a culture where they say shipikisha. You have to, stick in there.
Yeah.
What is your advice to the women who are in such kind of marriages?
Well, violence begets violence, and it always just gets worse.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, the whole 10 years we're together, I think the fighting, like I said, happened 3-4 times. And even the time that we shared with BBC, the last fight had happened like 4 years prior to that. So we came out and wanted to share what we had gone through, But it came out as if the marriage was so much violence. No, the marriage was not violence.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, the great part of our marriage, it was very, very nice. We had a great marriage with him.
Yeah.
Those are moments. So for me,
and very good sex actually. I don't know if she needs to tell you that. You need to tell him
that you had good sex.
Yes, of course. She was my wife.
But she looks like she's shy to document that aspect of your marriage. Do you guys enjoyed very good sex?
Can I tell you what? These are things that you tell, and these are things that marriages out there needs to understand.
Yeah.
You get the point.
Yeah.
She was my wife. So when someone asks me and everything, even the person I'm with,
is that statement in comparison to what you have now?
Let me tell you something. Even funny part is the person I'm with. Tulalanda and tulaseka, and she will say, and I tell her, say, Ulia,
Mukali.
Tuale angala. You get the point. So you get the point. So
not if to reach.
Awe naenda paku bana na we na ali sama no ala teo mupira. Efuna chikwe bangana I don't date down. Total package.
Oh
okay, no, you were talking about sex. So specifically, you miss a sex.
Which one?
Because you highlighted that
aspect. We had good sex.
Okay.
You know,
but for a man to just categorically just bring that up.
No, because you say about this thing, talk about it. Because
do you confirm that you had wonderful sex?
I think it was the best part of our marriage.
Did you miss it?
No, I don't miss. I don't miss it. It was there. It's gone. No, it was there. Jamie, listen. Let me tell you. Let me tell you one thing. Let me tell you one thing about Owas. In marriages, people would complain. Women would tell you to say maybe once in a month or.
Yeah.
Him, it would be like every day of the week. Maybe the entire month. We would not sleep together. Maybe
you guys
2
would
days.
have sex every day.
Every day.
Is that something that you enjoyed?
Of course.
Thank you very much.
And when you tell him, no, today I'm tired. So when I touch, I want no way. And the others would just and I was right.
But it was not a sex addict though.
Not really a sex addict. We just had that.
But you just had the beautiful chemistry that you'd have it every day of the week.
Every day of the week.
Wow.
Only that day of the month, those days of the month, that's when you really rest. And for me, I even started saying that now I think I understand why God brought about the menstrual cycle. Yeah. This is the time for a woman to rest, so that's what I understood.
She rested.
I don't start
but munda wakale suvuta kulima, so you can shoot your shot. This has been a very beautiful conversation. You guys are at a very beautiful place. And what is your advice to couples out there as we come to the conclusion of this interview?
I think for me, it's remain friends.
Yeah.
Don't really. The past is the past.
Yeah.
Okay. Especially ngana mkwatavana, always try as much as possible to look at the positive side of things, and don't always look at the negative side of things. And then people grow. I think we've grown. I've grown. We're talking about how many years now? From 2012 to now. This is
10 years.
10 years.
About 10 years of a lot of growing. So yes, there's a lot of lessons in life. There's a lot of things that we are still learning as people. But I think what is important, we are a good place, very good friends.
Yeah.
And for as long as that friendship goes, it affects the children.
Yeah.
So we need to make sure that couples also learn to give respect to each other.
Yeah.
And to just begin to say, look, so that's why no matter what would happen, if someone came here on the mother to my children, regardless of anything, because for me this is a mother to my children. If I'm sure whatever fights or anything that you have, remain
that's your business.
Yeah. So by excellence, by the way, honorable, they are excellent.
Oh yes.
Excellent.
Oh yes, the president. Yeah. Your word of advice as we come to the conclusion.
Word of advice. In fact, he has reminded me, even before I was a politician, he used to tell me that I'll be the president of this country.
Yeah.
He used to tell me, you're going to be the first female president.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm an artist, I'm not a politician. So even when I got into politics, he's always that person. He had that vision. He would always think of me in certain places. Yeah. So my word of advice is to couples, those that are together or those that are undergoing divorce.
Yeah.
Because I've seen, I think, a few couples now that are undergoing divorce and they're so vicious with each other on Facebook. They're not supposed to go through that. And I think sometimes we don't have the right people to talk to us.
Yeah.
I remember my mother would tell us to say, no, leave room for reconciliation. You guys are where you're fighting.
Yeah.
So there was that. The father as well, I remember even the time he got arrested, he went to see the son. We don't blame Saboi for this. Not even a day she did come out like this. And then after I talked to her son, he came to me as well.
Yeah.
It was like, we don't blame you for this. No wonder even after this whole thing, I've had that great relationship with the parents and then later on with him. Because by the time it was coming out, now even the relationship we had been repaired. Yeah. So there can be a situation that you're going through which is so bad, but think about the future. You get the point. Think about the future. For me, when I talk about even witchcraft, I'm not even talking about maybe him seeing other women and everything. I talk about just how unreasonable he was at that time. Owas was a person, like I said before, he was a person that I could control. And he could control me. And that's what marriage is all about. You need to control each other. You get the point. But at that time, he couldn't just talk to anybody. By the time I was coming back, even his friends, he was not in good books with any of his friends. He had these new friends that were taking him all over all these funny places. Our pastor had stopped going to church and all those things. So we had that kind of a situation. So sometimes people go through certain things. You get the point. But there's always a tomorrow. And we have children. And for me, like I said, I'm happy that the person, the Owas that went in prison and the person Owas that came out, there was a time I was even telling him to say, if this Owas I'm seeing now, if this is the way you were, I would never have divorced. You get the point? Because now you have changed, But thank God we're comfortable. No wonder he has a woman, I have a man. But we can sit here and talk about this. Of course, I'll make sure that my man doesn't watch this.
Well, on that note, I present to you Mr. and Mrs. Mwape. You may now kiss the bride. Lessons learned from today's episode is that when a marriage fails, relationships must never fail. And when a marriage fails, we must never allow children to be victims of our failed marriage. Yes, God hates divorce, but God still loves the divorced. And if a marriage has failed, it's okay to walk away. This is Pastor Jimmy K. Catch me next